Just because you have a platform does not mean that you should be a teacher. James 3:1 says, "Not many of you should become teachers, my brothers, for you know that we who teach will be judged with greater strictness. For we all stumble in many ways, and if anyone does not stumble in what he says, he is a perfect man, also able to bridle his whole body." If you happen to be on social media, I'm sure you've noticed that anywhere that you go, there are people that are trying to teach the Word of God. But reading in James chapter 3 really drew my attention to the necessity of why James would write, "Not everybody should teach." Why would James need to write this? Well, much like today, people are more prone to be disciplers than they are to be discipled. James tells us in chapter 1 that we should be slow to speak and quick to listen. There seems to be a fine line between those that are called and those that have a fleshly desire to be right or to be followed. But we as believers should be cautious as to what we put out into the world for other people to hear. Whether we think that we are being listened to or not, we should be reminded that James says, "Those who teach will be judged with a greater strictness." If you are like me and you feel like you've got a calling from the Lord to disciple and to teach, the first thing that you should consider is, are you being discipled yourself, or are you on your own trying to gain disciples? Those of us that are called to teach must weigh the words that we use. We must weigh the way that we interact with people, and we must consider those who are listening and how we impact the truth that they hear. James spends a lot of his time discussing how such a small thing like the tongue can cause such great damage. For example, James says that a bit in the mouth of a horse is able to direct the horse in whatever direction that you desire. He also uses an analogy of a rudder on a ship and how such a small thing can control such a large ship. He uses these examples to explain how powerful our tongue can be in leading us in various directions, and not only us, but those who listen to us. Our tongues, particularly as teachers, have a mighty impact on where we and those who follow us go. If we are too casual and not careful with the way that we speak, we can lead others in a direction that is not good for them or us. May we continue to weigh the severity of the words that we speak and the actions that we take.